Welcome to the video. I'm Nick from Noob to Pro and I hope you are doing great today. We've been talking all about the different creatures of Ark, how to tame them, what to do with them, and have they got any special abilities. Today it's all about the Spino. So let's go find one. We're looking at the Spino spawn map for the island, and as you can see they're not very common, but they do spawn around the inland waterways. We've done a few videos recently using taming pens, so I wanted to do something a little different today with the Spino. So we're just down here near the south coast, and Spinos often spawn down here. I saw one a little earlier and there it is. Okay, so like I said, we're going to try something a little different. Going to land Hurricane just over here on the top of this cliff. I'm going to stay just in from the top of the cliff because if the Spino does get a hit in, I don't want Hurricane to get involved in the fight. So, like I said, we're going to be shooting it using a long neck and trank darts. If you tried doing this with a crossbow and trank arrows, you would not have the range at all. She's probably going to be getting, yeah, she's already probably toward the range limit of the long neck. We don't want to go in too much further away. Surely that, I'm sure I hit her that time and it should have got her attention. If we don't get her attention this way, oh, that was a definite hit, so I think she's probably going to come towards us now. Let's just check a level quickly. Right, it's level 56. Great. And yes, it did get her attention. So all we need to do now is offload a load of trank darts into her. Get her torpidity up. She will turn and run, because Spinos always turn and run. They turn very quickly. So maybe this wasn't the best creature not to use a taming pen for, but never mind, we're going to try it this way. Now I didn't want her to run to that island. I was hoping she would run to the beach to our left, because there's some cliffs up there which I could have flown to and carried on shooting at her from a lot nearer distance. If you've seen many of my videos, you'll know that I'm not the best shot in the world, but I'm quite impressed so far. I've done some reasonable shots. So anyway, here she is again, and we'll just keep loading the trank arrows into her, trying to get her unconscious. What we don't want to happen is for her to fall unconscious in the water, because she will drown. Right, yes, I think she's going to the beach where we actually do want her. They're the cliffs just over there on the left that we were talking about. We can land on there and shoot her and get her unconscious on that beach. If she does end up full unconscious on the beach across the water there on the island, that is quite a dangerous island there. You'll find quite a lot of predators, especially raptors. Sometimes Carnos, you get Therizinosaurus over there, and sometimes Alpha Raptors as well. They spawn there quite often, to tell you the truth. Oh, don't go into the trees. No, this isn't going too well for me, is it really? I'm going to keep trying. I want to see if I can do it. Yeah, I can still hit her from here. So, but if she does go unconscious over there, I haven't brought any spike walls or any way of defense, so it's going to be potluck whether any raptors or anything like that turn up, and it's probably going to spoil the tame. I'll tell you what, I have got a Rex in a cryopod in my pocket, so just maybe I could pull the Rex out and use Rex as defense or something. We'll have to see if that is needed. Okay, right, if she's in the water here, she is already on the range limit. In the water, she's going to be far too fast for us. Right, she's disappeared now. I'm going to have to get back on hurricane. There is a cliff over in that direction as well. It's on the opposite side of the water to that island. Just there, you can see it in the distance. So I think I'll land on there, and maybe I could coax the Spino to come, and I could get her on this beach here. Not quite as safe as the one I was originally planning on, but every good plan falls apart as soon as you start. Right, we can still shoot her from here. Yeah, we can. In fact, I think she's a bit closer than she was earlier. Now, if she runs into the trees, I'm not going to be able to do very much. These guys, they don't like to go too far away from the water, so I think I'll be okay. I don't think she'll run into the island itself. It's one way to escape a Spino if it's chasing you. Run inland, because they won't chase you too far from the water. Now, surely it's going to fall unconscious quite soon. If I don't get it unconscious soon, I'm going to have to rethink my plan, I think. Oh, there we go. Unconscious. So, we're going to fly over there. I think we are going to have to get the Rex out, because I'll be very surprised if we don't see at least some predators whilst over here. The only thing that might go wrong is if a predator does attack, say a raptor attacks, and the Rex comes along to try and help out, and it might hit the Spino by accident. The Rex won't really bother about that. So torpidity on these guys goes down very quickly, so we're going to use quite a bit of narcotic. I'm not sure how much. I've just put a load in there. We'll get some exceptional kibble in there as well. That is the taming food. Now you can see the unconscious bar's already gone down a little bit there. Just having a quick scan around to see if there are any Rexes or anything. That's Apache there. Yeah, that unconscious bar is going down quite a bit. There's our Rex. Reasonably high level there. That's the one that we tamed on the video all about Rex. So it's not imprinted or anything like that. I'm just thinking what to do. I really would have liked to have spike walls with me on this Tame. Okay, so what's that I hear? Is that a compy? If that's a compy, they will attack. If there's more than one compy together, they'll attack. And yeah, right, I'm going to lead the compies away, because if one of them gets hit on me and I'm right next to that Spino, the Rex will attack, and he'll hit the Spino as well as the compies. So I'll get rid of those there. Okay. That unconscious bar is going down quite a lot, as I've already said. I'm going to wait until the Spino's taken a bite before I put any narcotics in, because I want to see how much taming effectiveness it gets from one bite, and then I can try and judge how many narcotic I'm going to need. Now, using kibble, as we've said, that's the most effective way. I'll put a list up on screen of the different types of meat you can use. Just note that the Spino prefers fish over regular meat. So we'll have a quick look at the stats here. We've got just under 2,000 health, 525 stamina. Spinos usually have quite a low stamina pool, so that is actually okay. The weight there was 300 plus, and I think it was 145 on the melee damage. Yes, yeah, 145 on the melee damage. So it's not too much of a high level, it's a reasonable level Spino, so I suppose those stats are okay. I'm not going to need all of that kibble, so I've taken some out so it doesn't eat it once it wakes up. Now it should take a bite sometime soon. I'm just thinking about maybe moving the Rex away from the Spino a little bit, just in case something does happen. If a raptor or something comes along, then I may have a chance of sorting it out myself before the Rex does come and take a chunk out of the Spino and completely waste our time. Patch is still hanging around. That taming bar's gone down to nearly 2/3 now. Yeah, I'm going to move the Rex just over here. What have we got over there in the distance? Doesn't look to be anything too dangerous. What's he eating? Oh, he's harvesting the compies that I killed earlier. Okay. Right, yeah, that taming bar's down to about 2/3. I would expect the Spino to take a bite sometime soon. And there we go. So, right, okay, gone up to just over 17% tamed. And as we've said, it's about 2/3 on the torpidity bar there. So I'll put, what, 10 narcotics in for now? And see how that goes up. Looking at that, I'll probably need to use something like 40 to 50 narcotics in total. Now, if you were using one of the lesser effective meats, say raw meats, because that's the easiest to get, you're going to be using hundreds of narcotics, and it's going to take a long time, and you're going to lose a lot of levels. So, you know, the kibble here is by far the most effective way of doing it. Also, you can use prime fish meat. I think that's nearly as effective as a kibble for these guys. The problem with the prime fish meat is you harvest it and it's gone off in a blink, so it's really hard to use that stuff. Okay, it's going to take quite some time for this guy to tame out there, so I'm going to jump forward and see when she's tamed. Okay, here she is tamed out, level 83 as expected. So we'll have a quick look at those stats. She's got 2,200 health, 665 stamina, the weight of 413, and a melee damage of 265. So all of those have gone up quite reasonably, so we're quite happy with that. So I think we left the saddle here in Hurricane. So we'll put the saddle on. I'm going to put Hurricane and the Rex into cryopods so we can go and find out what the Spino is all about. Now, first thing to think about with the Spino is they get quite a decent buff as soon as they put their toe in the water. They get a buff with their movement speed of 20%, attack damage by 15%, health regen by 25%, and they also have a decreased turning circle. So as you see, she's just stepped in the water there, and on the top right of the screen there's a countdown timer. It lasts for 30 seconds after she comes out of the water. If she stays in the water, the buff stays, so that's great. So we'll just trash a couple of things around here. None of these are going to be too difficult for her to kill. She's got two stances. When she's on all fours, then she bites. She can go up onto her hind legs, and she swipes with her front two feet claws. And she does more damage when she's on the back two legs, but she's also slower on the back two legs than she is on all fours. So as you can see, the timer is now stopped, and the icon is still up there because she's in the water, and that buff is permanent whilst in the water. Now, one thing to think about with the Spinos, she does use oxygen, but she doesn't use stamina whilst swimming. It's the opposite way round to the baryonyx. I just had to think then which one it was. The baryonyx doesn't use oxygen but does use stamina, where the Spino, like I say, she does use oxygen, though she does have a really good oxygen pool, so she can stay underwater for quite some time. But as you can see, while she's swimming, the stamina isn't going down. As soon as she touches the sea floor though, and she's actually walking on there, then stamina is being used again. Just sort out all those piranhas there. Pesky little things. So let's go somewhere a little more dangerous and find out what else she can do. We've got a small pack of raptors here, so we'll see what a Spino can do with those. As you can see, they're not attacking. Not many predators will attack a Spino. As soon as the Spino hits them, then they will attack. Whoop, missed. And there we go. So, yes, now the pack will attack, but I don't think they're going to prove any problem at all. No, they're not doing. And the alpha of the pack, the alpha of the pack is running away. Knows who's boss. Okay, knows who's going to win this fight, and no problem at all. And yeah, it was okay. It was a level 112 raptor, and we took care of those, no problem. If you've seen our video all about Rex, you will remember that we climbed this mountain here on the Rex. So I just want to compare the Spino's climbing skills to the Rex's. Speaking of Rex, we've got one there. We climbed up here quite easily on the Rex, so the Spino, I think it's going to be just a little bit harder with the Spino. I don't think they're quite as good at climbers, though they are, I would say, better travellers than the Rex. The Rex might be able to climb something a little steeper, but the Spino is more versatile. It'll get over different terrain, and it will get over it much, much faster than the Rex. So that is one thing I do like about the Spino. Saying that, he's struggling a little bit here. He will still be able to get to the top of the mountain. And there we go. Yeah, he can do that. So I think I'll go down and we'll see what the Rex down there was all about. Ooh, bit of fall damage there, so be careful of that with the Spino. You've got to make sure if you are going down a mountain, pick your way, because you will do yourself some damage there. Right, let's see what this level this Rex is here. Okay, he's only level 44. I was hoping for something a bit better. And okay, yeah, he's fighting a couple of Bronts there. And well, there's a third Bront in the background as well. If those Bronts are any decent level at all, they'll take the Rex. So I'm going to try to find something else. Well, we found an Alpha Raptor. There's a few other Raptors in the area just there as well. So I think we're just going to wade in there. Don't know what level it is. But as you can see, the Alpha doesn't even want to attack us, because we're on a large creature like a Spino. But here we go. Now, yeah, we're doing a lot more damage than the Alpha is doing to us, but we are getting hit, and our stamina is draining quite quickly as well. The Spino doesn't have a large stamina pool like I mentioned earlier, so we need to get this thing killed before we run out of stamina, because then it could turn bad for us. And the Alpha Raptor will have quite a big health pool, so we do really need to get this over and done with. Our stamina's nearly drained. We're on about half health now. It's hard to tell how injured the Alpha is because of the red glow. Usually you can see how red a creature's getting. That will show you how much damage it's taken. With the glow around the Alpha, it's quite hard sometimes to see that. So we just got to keep going. And yeah, okay. So it was a level 52, so that's reasonable level Alpha there. But as you can see, we lost over half of our health, and our stamina was right down. Oh, and I've got myself a Mastercraft hatchet as well from that, so happy with that. I'll keep that. I'll regen my health and find something else. It's taken some time, and I've had a few levels, but we've finally found ourselves a reasonably high level Rex. Not too high, only level 72, but what I wanted to show you is the difference between the Rex attack and the Spino attack. If you get a level 1 Rex, level 1 Spino, the Rex will do more damage per hit than the Spino will, but the Spino can do a lot more hits. Now I think I'll let the Rex just do a few hits on the Spino without attacking back, and as you can see, it's quite slow. Now the Spino can do quite a lot of hits all in one go, a lot faster than the Rex, and as you can see, it wasn't a fair fight at all. Yes, I was doing more damage, but I've trashed that Rex very quickly there. Just wanted you to be able to see that. Final thoughts on the Spino. These guys can be quite a tricky tame. If you're not going to use a pen, make sure that you've got some kind of defences for when the Spino is unconscious. Also, make sure that you've got plenty of narcotic with you and be ready for a long tame. Once tamed, I think these guys are great. They swim quite fast in the water, they're fast over land, they don't use stamina while swimming, and they've got a powerful and fast attack. All that more than makes up for the fact that they have quite a small stamina pool. If you've learnt anything from this video, please hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any more of our videos like the one shown on screen right now. Thanks for watching. Have an amazing day.